Chioma Onyekwere has made history as the first Nigerian woman to win the discus gold medal at the Commonwealth Games. Making her debut at the Games, the 28-year-old, who is also the African Games and African Athletics champion, threw her season's best in her fourth attempt to snatch the lead from Britain's Jade Lally. The US-based engineer became only the second African female in the Games history to win the gold after South Africa at the 2006 Melbourne Games. Her compatriot, Obiageri Amaechi, won bronze medal. The two medals are the first ones for Nigeria in this year's Games. Well, for more on Nigeria's success in Birmingham and the rest of the sporting headlines, let's cross over to our London studio and speak to the sports journalist Oluwamayotomiwa Tobi. Good to see you, Tobi. Tell us more about this historic success for Nigeria in the discus.
Well, like you rightly said, Chioma has been over the moon, deservedly so. She's done wonderfully well for herself, and also for Nigeria, the country that she represents. Like we mentioned, full-time engineer, and her passion that she's always promoted personally on the side, and now getting to become the African champion, to become the Commonwealth champion. It's not a small feat to begin with. We've also said, while we're known in Africa to have the powerful stances and the strength, we haven't quite dominated as much as we would hope in cases of the discus, but Chioma has done wonderful work from her, Onyekwere. She failed to qualify the last time out. She's been dealing with some injury troubles, but she's come out in full force to represent the country, Nigeria claiming gold and bronze. And she's come out to also say that Africa's time is now, that this would sort of spur other athletes to going far and to going wide. Now, it begs the wider question that someone like the sports minister, Sunday Dare, will be thinking about on how to provide a proper organization, a proper structure for these ladies who seem to be self-funding and self-pushing themselves. And this is what she's done while working as a full-time engineer. How much more when having the backing of a full sporting industry for an athlete on the field?
Absolutely, that's a very good observation, and obviously, as we said, historic success for Nigeria. What other notable performances have there been in Birmingham?
Well, from the shot put to discus, track and field, that seems to be Nigeria's bread and butter, so we'd expect a lot of impressive ones from Nigeria. In the men's high jump, Mike Edwards, many would know him as the former Big Brother Nigeria star, who would be hoping to do some magic, really, at the Alexander Stadium. 7 p.m. tonight, he'll be hoping some 20 years ago when he bloomed into limelight, sort of, on the field, and hoping to better his record at Alexander Stadium. We also have from the discus, Kennedy Ezeji would also be going down and hoping to also improve on the success of Chioma and the likes of Obiageri Amaechi to try and also put his name on the map. Really, like I said, these track and field events are seemingly Nigeria's bread and butter. We expect 2 medals so far from the track and field, 8 medals in total at the Commonwealth Games. Many could be claimed on the night. 6 medals sort of up for grabs between now and the end of the Games today. So we should expect shot put, the discus, of course the 100 meters as well. You should be expecting Nigerians to sort of dominate, if not claim a podium finish.
Well, that all sounds jolly brilliant. Let's turn to football. Premier League players have now decided they will only take the knee for high-profile matches. What's your assessment of that? Is that a wise move?
Well, yeah, the Premier League, back to the Premier League, the issue of taking a knee has always been prominent since 2020. We saw what happened from George Floyd, and then it spurred all of across various sports, football, basketball, you name it. Colin Kaepernick, we saw him there for the NFL, and it came into the Premier League as well. Now, some players have come out against the taking of the knee, most famously Crystal Palace's Wilfred Zaha, Chelsea's Marcos Alonso, who've come to say they feel the sort of gesture politics that goes into it is not as effective as they would hope for it to be. And last week we saw Premier League captains meet but failed to make a compromise or come to a conclusion. Now they have saying they will only do it for high-profile games, for periods like October and March, when it's sort of like Black History Month or campaign Kick It Out, to raise awareness, and for things like the FA Cup final, Community Shield final, and all those key fixtures during the league, that the hope is, while it's few and far between, the impact will be felt each time that they come out to take a knee. They'll be taking a stance against racism, not just racism, but also other forms of inequality, not just in football, but across other walks of human life. Now, other people have come out to say not the biggest proponents, and Premier League should be doing more, as some critics would say Premier League have been sort of bystander, waiting for the captains to make a decision and then supporting whatever decision they make. I've been in some debates and some conclusions saying Premier League should be giving clubs the power to ban spectators who sort of have these racial gestures towards players, and should have tougher stances on it. Right. While the taking of the knee, we know England men will still continue to take the knee as they prepare for the World Cup.
Oluwamayotomiwa Tobi, the sports journalist, talking to me there from our studios in London. Thank you very much indeed.